NVIDIA is preparing to ship 1 million GPUs to Amazon Web Services by the end of 2027. At first glance, that sounds like a giant hardware order, but it may be something much bigger than that. Because while most people are still watching the AI model race, NVIDIA is building something more important: the system AI runs on. And once a company starts controlling that layer, it is no longer just selling technology. It is shaping how the market works. But that's not how most people are thinking about it yet. Most people still think AI competition is about better models. Who is smarter? Who is faster? Who gets the headline? And to be fair, that used to make sense. For a while, the story of AI really was about breakthroughs, benchmarks, and model releases. But once AI moves from labs into real products, the standard changes. In the real world, a model is only useful if it can actually serve users at scale. It has to run reliably, continuously, and at a cost businesses can afford. So the real question is changing. It is no longer just who can build AI. It is becoming who controls how AI gets deployed. And that shift becomes much easier to see in the AWS deal. Because NVIDIA is not just sending GPUs. The deal also pushes NVIDIA's networking deeper into AWS data centers, while AWS uses these systems for AI inference. That is a very different story from simply selling more chips. Because inference is where AI stops being a demo and starts becoming a service. And once you start serving millions of users, infrastructure matters more than hype. And this is exactly why NVIDIA's recent GTC message matters. At GTC 2026, Jensen Huang did not just talk about chips. He talked about inference, networking, AI factories, agents, robotics, and autonomous vehicles. That matters because it shows NVIDIA is no longer presenting itself as a component supplier. It is presenting itself as the platform behind the next phase of AI. In other words, the AWS deal is not a side story. It is a real-world example of the strategy NVIDIA is now openly describing. So to understand why all of this connects, we need to separate two parts of AI. Training is when you build the model. Inference is when people actually use it. Training is expensive, but inference is relentless. It happens every second across millions of users, prompts, cameras, sensors, and decisions. That is why AI is no longer just a one-time computing problem. It becomes an infrastructure problem. And once AI becomes infrastructure, the winners are not just the companies with the smartest models. They are the companies that can keep those models running in the real world. And once you understand that, NVIDIA's move beyond the cloud starts to make a lot more sense. If NVIDIA is building the infrastructure that runs AI in the cloud, it makes sense that it would try to extend the same logic into the physical world. That is why NVIDIA is not just talking about servers and data centers. It is also building systems for robots and cars. And in cars, this becomes even clearer. A car does not just generate text. It has to see, predict, decide, and react in real time. So when NVIDIA offers automakers a full self-driving stack, from computing hardware to software, safety systems, and deployment tools, it is doing something very similar to what it is doing in the cloud. It is not just supplying a part. It is trying to become the underlying system. And that brings us to the deeper shift behind this whole story. If one company provides the chips, the networking, the software stack, the deployment layer, and the tools developers build on, then replacing that company becomes much harder. At that point, the advantage is no longer just about having a better product. It becomes a system advantage. And system advantage is more powerful than product advantage. Because once the market starts building on your stack, you are no longer competing one product at a time. You are shaping the environment everyone else has to work inside. So when you hear that NVIDIA is shipping 1 million GPUs to AWS, do not just think about a massive hardware order. Think about what that order represents. Because this is not only about compute. It is about who gets to build the roads AI runs on. And in the next phase of AI, the most important company may not be the one that builds the smartest model. It may be the one that controls the stack behind it. The most important company may not be the one that builds the smartest model. It may be the one that controls the stack behind it. NVIDIA may be doing something far more important than selling chips. It may be building the environment that the next generation of AI has to run inside. And if that happens, the real power in AI may sit lower in the stack than most people realize. That may be the real meaning behind 1 million GPUs.